Good morning, friends. This is Dr. Da Vinci, and today we're going to talk about spirituality and how to achieve that homeostasis or spiritual balance, both spiritual and physical balance. What's involved? How do we synchronize with all of our loved ones, our family members? And if you had a death in the family recently, first of all, I want to sympathize with you, and we're going to help you restore peace and harmony in your soul and help you grieve. So I want you to awaken with me. Now, typically when people write to me, they say, Dr. Da Vinci, I had a death in the family, or we don't have enough money in our budget, or I'm looking for a new job. How can you help us? And my answer to that is very standard. First, you must actually reestablish peace within your spirit, within your soul, and then the rest will follow. So today we're going to hopefully awaken you to the truth of the spiritual magnitude for you to have true spiritual balance, true spiritual peace, harmony, and then I will show you how to align other things in life. Your second most important asset in life is not money, it's not your career, it's your health. So we're going to help you sort of prioritize your life. Spirituality, number one. Number two is your health. And number three, of course, follows money or your business if you're self-employed. Well, most of you, of course, are wondering, how do we, living in this Western world, how do we stabilize our financial situation? I want to assure you, I want to promise you, and I hope you can just take my word for it and just trust me on this one. If you will allow me to help you synchronize your spirit with the cosmos, then we'll heal your ailments, your illnesses, your diseases. Then we're going to help you get your finances on track, and you will be at peace. You will be complete. Why spirituality? Well, it's very, very simple. We are spiritual beings. Over 6,000 years before Moses was delivering his messages, before it was oral tradition, before written language was invented, Zarathustra was actually preaching his message, which is very similar to mine. Spirituality first, do what's right. If they hit you on the right cheek, give them the left one. That was 6,000 years before Christ. Can you imagine that? And do unto others what others will do unto you. Or treat others like you want to be treated. That's thousands of years before Christ, folks. Thousands of years before Christ. So I want to focus on that message. I want you to sort of grasp the what's possible. Now, what is possible beyond just sort of talking about it? What you might be asking, you always write to me and say, Dr. Da Vinci, I'm simply tired of these conversations and dialogues and lectures. What can you help me heal? Can you help me make $1 million? Let's talk about it. What I will help you do is, first, if you write to me, if you have any questions, you can ask your questions by sending me an email. My email address is quite appropriate. It's askmyquestiononline@gmail.com. That's right. askmyquestiononline@gmail.com. So send me an email. I will personally answer. Our staff rarely gets involved in answering the messages unless I get overwhelmed. And we'll get on the phone and address your issue. But specifically, what I can do for you is this. First, we're going to stabilize your spiritual balance. We're going to remove all stress and all paranoia, all disbalance, disharmony. all fear from your life. Then we're going to heal your body. First we're going to heal your soul, then we're going to heal your body. And I'll show you a little exercise. It's just merely an exercise. I will help you cause a wind with just by raising your hand. You can create a mini hurricane or a mini tornado. That's right, every tornado or every hurricane in the planet is caused by human beings who are out of control. We'll never get to that level of causing damaging winds, no more than 50 miles an hour. Then we stop. It's all done with your right hand. I'm going to show you how to do that as a demonstration that means as a verification that you have arrived, you've connected to nature. At that point, you see, you'll be very happy. Perhaps you will not even need that, but it will be a confirmation to yourself that you are connected to nature. You will be able to understand the language of the animals, the birds, the dogs, the cats. The trees have their own language, subtle, more subtle than the dogs and other mammals, but you will understand the language. They're trying to communicate to you in a very subtle way constantly. They're trying to convey to you, essentially, they're communicating with you about you, what awaits you around the corner, perhaps what you're missing. When dogs look at you without barking, they're saying you have such tremendous potential and you don't even know it. It's right in front of your nose and you have not even explored it. It's very sad. Life lived unexplored is the saddest thing on this planet. And so we're going to fix that. You will be a well-balanced, well-aware human being who is in touch with his or her spirituality, fully in touch. So you'll be understanding the language of the animals. You will be able to heal yourself. Most ailments, not all, but most of them. And if you'll have trouble, all you have to do is ask me, and I'll heal. First of all, I'll heal you or your loved ones, and then we can sort of help you graduate to where you can do it yourself. It's not difficult if you know the technique. And then we'll progress. There are different degrees. Before this exercise starts, you live in three-dimensional world, and it's sort of left, right, up and down and to the left and to the right. That's all you know. There's a fourth dimension, and this is the introduction to that fourth dimension. When you begin to understand that there is something awaits you around the corner, you can predict what it is. That is a form of spiritual evolution, if you will. Now, the next phase beyond that, beyond that would be the fifth dimension. That's when you can actually raise people from the dead. That is very possible, and that's much more advanced level. So it takes about 10 years to perfect the fourth dimensional level. In three-dimensional, you're not even, in order to progress from the three-dimensional world to living in a fourth-dimensional world, that takes a lot of dedication and discipline. That's why I'm looking for mentees to mentor on a one-on-one basis and teach them this rare skill. My business partner, Dr. Wilson, and I, we want to create sort of a following to live in this world very advanced human beings. Hence, the name of our channel is Awaken Now. We want you to be awakened to this knowledge and this truth. So we want you to transition from living in three-dimensional world into a four-dimensional existence. And then from then on to the fifth dimensional, sixth dimensional, and seventh dimension. So the fifth dimension is when you can actually, raise people from the dead. Sixth dimensional is when you will actually transfigure visually. That's, if you remember the scene of transfiguration of Jesus on the mountain, when his clothes begin to shine like the sun's, and other dimensional beings appeared, Moses and Elijah, so to speak. It's a Hebrew tradition, you know, if you're into something else, somebody else will appear. But the point is, other beings will appear, and those other three-dimensional dwellers will be able to actually see it with their physical eyes. It's a rare glimpse into that world, but that's the world you'll be living in. Once you hit that level, it's a different, you will not be using these words as what a coincidence or luck. You will be on a completely different level at that stage. And so at that point, transitioning between life and death, it's a completely different way of thinking, where words cannot even describe it. I'm trying to help you understand what's possible. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. You're probably wondering, where does money come into this thing? You're still thinking in this sort of a three-dimensional world. Where's my money? Where's my dollars? Your dólares, amigo, is coming. Just be patient. Your dollars, on that level, it's immaterial. So, to give you an idea, if you want money on that level, you just basically do this. You do this, and that's a winning number right there at that level. But you have to be true to your life and to your purpose in life. It's not going to just happen because you want to buy a big house. You're in the wrong. You're in three-dimensional universe. It's a completely. You have to be so true to the core of your spiritual. First of all, you have to discover your mission in life, but you have to be true to your mission. And then no matter what you touch, it's going to happen. Yes, you talk to a tree, you don't like the tree, it will wither away immediately. So if you get hungry and the fig tree will not produce fruit, you just say, let no fruit ever appear on you, and the fig tree will, or whatever that tree is, will wither away instantly. That's that sixth level, fifth and sixth level. And of course, seventh level of development. Now, that's the highest level. That is, there are perhaps maybe 2 or 3 beings who are on that level, and they sort of sustain our part of our galaxy, including our planet. So that we're going at the speed of 600. You know how fast we're going, by the way? You think we're static, we're not. We're rotating actually around the center of our galaxy at the speed of, what? 610,000 kilometers per second. That's not counting our own revolution around our axis. So at those speeds, I mean, we're talking about understanding who we are, where we come from, where we're going. Because you see Fibonacci numbers, for example. If you research Fibonacci numbers, besides pi, the 3.14, those are the building blocks of our universe that were put in place. And that once you enter anything beyond fifth level, right now you're in three-dimensional, you can't understand it fully, but fifth level you will be able to understand what those numbers mean and why we are on the fourth arm of our galaxy, rotating at 610,000 kilometers per second around the center of our galaxy, and so on and so forth. How does it relate to your atomic structure, and so on and so forth? It's all this look of an infinite repetition of from the smallest to the highest, and it's 10 to 28 degree and 10 to 32nd degree, both ways, amplifying, going microscopic level and going into the macro level with Hubble telescopes. Very strangely, but it actually appears to be the same level from our three-dimensional world. Going macro, going micro, same mathematical formulas apply, from the way your hair grows in a spiral, to the way your DNA helix is positioned, to the way our galaxy is formed, to the way the water actually rotates in a spherical way, in a spiral way, in an opening and a drain. It's all following the same program, and once you get past this three-dimensional understanding of the world, you will understand that too. So that's why I want you to learn what I know I want to share with you this sacred and secret knowledge. Not to give you money, not to help you win. Money will not be an issue, I promise you that. It will be the last thing on your agenda. The last thing. First, we're going to address spirituality, then your health, and then money will come. It's immaterial. You will be immaterial. You just have to have some sort of patience. Hopefully not living under the bridge wanting to learn this, but hopefully having a conducive environment to learn what I'm about to share with you, the sacred knowledge. So if you're living under the bridge and you just got run over by a bus and you're lost your limbs and you're in a hospital, or it's a chaotic world. You have to be more or less sort of together to absorb this very, very valuable information. And if you are together and you're ready, write to me. I'll get back to you. We'll have a conversation, and then if I like you, you'll be my mentee. And Dr. Wilson also will be mentoring soon in a few months. And so that's the message of Awaken. I want you to awaken to this truth that is beyond your three-dimensional little world, where you can't pay your bills or this or that, all these problems, and you can't communicate with your spouse, or if you don't have a spouse, or if you're a homosexual, you don't even know why you're homosexual, but it's another program, another dimension. I'll tell you why. It's actually it's a part of a mental illness that's spreading around like a virus. You know, a virus, any idea, spreads, like AIDS, by the way. AIDS was part of the vaccine, if you do your research, that they knowingly spread from the monkeys, you know, when they were trying to create a vaccine for the polio disease. And they have spread it knowing what's going to happen. But that's a physical virus. The most dangerous virus is a virus of the mind today that affects the quality of life. The nucleus of the family has been destroyed. Now that most people don't know how to rebuild, you know, how to form a family, maintain a family, how to make babies, you know, how to keep it together. Women are looking for men, can't find them. Men are looking for dedicated, loyal, family-oriented women, cannot find them. Why? It's because we're going to cover that. I'm going to address that, how to find that harmonious lifestyle. You know, like attracts like. So you can't, let's say if you're a most dangerous criminal, you cannot walk out on the street and meet an orchestra conductor, because you're on complete opposite poles. You know, an orchestra conductor lives in his own musical world, and a ex-con who got off, you know, doing a 30-year prison sentence is got his own life path. That is very visible in that once you hit that fourth dimensional understanding of the world, the fifth dimensional, and those life paths do not cross. And because everybody's lives are been so polluted, the way of thinking, the virus is there of the mind, not the AIDS virus, but the mental virus has been spread deliberately, mind you, deliberately by certain individuals. That virus keeps women from seeking after the right things in life, and it's similar for men, especially in the West. Now, in the East, they're laughing at us here in North America, saying what a bunch of sissies, pussies, motherfuckers, can't get their all their economy is there, they have all the resources, they can't get their fucking lives together. Why is that, folks? It's because you have a virus inside your head. We're going to clean that virus out. We're going to remove that virus. The world laughs at Americans. All the resources can't fucking tie our shoes together. You know, 20 years ago, Harvard Medical Study did a research, medical school, and the study showed that 1 out of 10,000 children were autistic. Well, a few years ago, they found, did the same study, and they actually found that 1 out of 50 children are autistic. And they predict that in just a few years, by 2020, 1 out of 2 children will be autistic, non-functioning, non-verbal, not recognizing the parents. Well, GMO, yes, Monsanto is the monster, all that stuff, but you know, there's other things beyond that. There are many other things beyond just GMO food and the polluted soil that, yeah, we all know, you know, they used to put 150 million tons of fertilizer into American farmlands. Now it's over 1 billion tons on an annual basis. How do you do it? Eat organic. That would be my short advice. I'm zooming in on the message of how to eat healthy and how to improve the gut level, the microbiome for your children. My heart goes out to you if your children are, if you have kids who are autistic. But the way to address it so that the rest of the world doesn't laugh at us here, eat healthy. Give soups to your children, you know, healthy organic soups, you know, chicken broths and you know, those allergies and everything else that comes from the fact that cesarean section is the next scam from all of those pregnancy clinics, you know. They've been murdering babies since, was it 1973, Roe versus Wade case. It was a ploy just to basically population control and make money on the side. And now they're actually selling body parts, as you know. It's unbelievable. Those clinics who pull out little babies, you know, part by part. If they pull it out and it's still alive, you know, that would be murder to kill the baby, and they still do. You know, watch the documentary called Gosnell. Gosnell is the last name of a doctor who used to kill hundreds of babies that way, but killed, you know, babies who were alive. But anyway, so that they're not accused of murdering babies, you know what they do? They pull the babies piece by piece, either with a vacuum suction machine or, you know, with medical pliers. They just reach down there and they pull out body parts, you know, arms and legs, and put them in a little jar. That's your abortion practice. Why? They sell those body parts. That's right. There's another van comes out, they pick them up. That's for medical research for ultra wealthy, you know, they want to live forever, and so that's how it's done. So the baby parts are sold for $500 to $10,000, depending on the quality of the specimen. You know, torso is 10 grand, arms and legs are $500 to a few $1,000s. And so when young mothers come to the clinic, you know, they are told, they're bamboozled, they're deceived into believing that's the way to go. So thank goodness for all those pro-lifers out there who are trying to forcibly but persuade those mothers to, you know, look at other options, alternatives, meaning have a baby and get some financial help and moral support for the to not kill their baby, because mothers know, every mother knows deep inside it's the wrong decision. You understand? It's the wrong fucking decision. And because she has a virus in her mind, she's trying to find an excuse to sort of listen to this voice or the pro-lifers or pro-choicers' voice. And if she chooses pro-choice, she knows she's making the wrong choice there. But she's, you know, she's weak, she's scared, and she needs the right support. That's one example of how today Western society of the world. Anywhere else in the world, any woman, any future mother knows that's the fucking wrong decision to kill a fucking baby. It's not even, you don't need a fucking psychiatrist to tell you this. You know, that's where the fucking world laughs at us here in America. Everybody's so fucking weak and so stupid that you have to have an explanation. You know, you go out on some sort of a cliff and you have to have a little chain that says, danger, danger, it might fall off. Nowhere else in the world, they assume if you're gonna fall off, good for you because you fucking deserve it. Because you're fucking stupid as a doorknob. And so anywhere else in the world, they don't have these signs, you know, slippery, you're gonna fall. You have to check the floor for slipperiness, how slick it is. If you're gonna fall off some sort of a precipice somewhere, that means you're a fucking dumbass. It was not meant for you to have children. That means you don't belong here, you know. But in America, everything is so hyper fucked up that it's unreal. I'm being real with you right now. So you have to have a little chain that says slippery or don't fall off the cliff because, you know, the Grand Canyon ends right here, you know. It's stupid. We're so fucking pussified here, stupefied and bunch of fucking pendejos, motherfuckers. Pendejo is a Spanish word for doofuses, stupid people, basically. For example, when you go outside in Amsterdam, in Holland, or in any of the Scandinavian countries, their mothers leave their babies in baby carriages on the streets to air out. So you walk outside at a certain time, every day, there's this chain of baby carriages out on the streets. Nobody steals them, nobody molests them, and you try to ask, as a pendejo fucking American, you know, oh, don't you afraid the pedophile will go steal it? They don't even understand your fucking question. They say, take your fucking mental illness to America. We don't want it here. They don't even want to, you know, entertain these thoughts because they have a healthy society. They have a baby, they pull it out, nothing happens to the baby. Nobody steals them, everybody's normal. Research. Holland, Sweden, any of the Scandinavian countries, they put their babies out. They don't even think about, you know, how could you know, somebody might steal it, molest it. They don't have those things. You understand? Like it goes from stupid head to another stupid head in America. Everybody's focused on the wrong thing, you know, on the completely fucking wrong thing. And how do you fix it? Well, at least I'm helping you fix it. Analyze this, as they say in New York City. Analyze this, amigo. If you focus on that pendejo stupid shit, then you're going to get that stupid shit. If you're going to focus on the right things, then you're going to be elevated past the three-dimensional world, fourth-dimensional world, and so on and so forth. Just think about it.